Okay, so we've gone through a couple of checkpoints. So now we need to start talking about the real stuff. Now we're really going to delve into the metaphysical nature of ourselves, right? And why concepts like manifestation, law of attraction, and all that kind of stuff needs to be left in the old world. Manifestation, if you actually break it down from its biggest kind of like advocates or proponents, whatever, they'll tell you that, I mean, Neville's like a great example. He tells you you're in a dream. He knows, and he knows that your imagination is God. And, you know, he says it. He doesn't go as far though, in my opinion, in recognizing that you are God, because he talks about your own wonderful human imagination as God. But if you have that imagination that you have God within you, yeah, it's obvious. Now, essentially what he's saying is that if you have imagination, you can go anywhere, you can traverse universes, yeah, you can traverse worlds, you can traverse realities, right? That's what dreams are. Dreams are basically unrestrained imagination, which is God just kind of like traveling through worlds, realities, if you like. But then when it gets plugged in back into your kind of like system, your mind body matrix kind of 3D avatar thing, it's almost like a residual effect, you know, kind of like a shadowing, you know. And that's why you're like, oh yeah, I had a dream. You see it as separate, but then what people fail to realize is that you being activated and waking up in the morning is the beginning of another dream, just like how you accessed the dream before. So the point is, you can access any world you want. Yes, that's fine. That's true. You can manifest. But if that's not what, if the part of the dream you access is not yours to occupy, and I'll clarify that in a minute. It's not yours to occupy. You will experience it. And guess what? Nothing's going to change for you. You literally haven't. Like, whoa, I got all this material stuff, like, you know, the 3D fucking arseholes and your crap. I've got this, I got this. Okay, cool. You know, 2 days later, it's like, diminishing returns. What's the, you know? How many times do we hear of this person bought himself a 500-acre house or whatever they did, and then 2 seconds later, it's like, it's decaying. Now they live in an apartment somewhere, you know, because your authentic self, your character, your avatar has a role to play. Yeah. Don't force the hand of God, man. I'm telling you, do not force the hand of God. It's fruitless, and it will be in vain. Yeah. I'm telling you, it will be fruitless. It's like being lucid in a dream, right? Now I'm lucid in the dream. I can go any direction I want, right? In the dream, I can experience different things and stuff like that. But I've got to be mindful to let the dream develop and evolve as the dream intended to. Because the dream itself is God. The reality itself is God. I'm not saying that if you're in a situation that is terrible for you physically, don't seek to change it. Of course, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we know all this kind of stuff. You're a human being, your character, there are certain things that you need, right? And I've already said this before, it's very, very easy to acquire those things. You know, if you're not spoiled, you can actually live a very kind of like okay life. If you're not focused on reflections and, you know, looking at what people think and thinking about what all that kind of shit, and, you know, you can actually live a very simple life, because the pressure you're putting on yourself about the way you're supposed to live is an illusion in itself. Because who told you that's how you're supposed to live? If not the mind and the ego. I've got all the time in the world. If you can prove to me that that's what consciousness, you know, told you, then go for it. Do you understand? It's unbridled ego, but people can't even see it. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Now that you are at this point where you recognize that you are God in flesh, yeah? Bro, how many 3-pointers have I made, bro? Go back and check. If you think I'm talking shit, go and look and come back and tell me. It's facts. Yeah, it's facts. You are God in flesh. What I'm telling you is, rather than forcing the hand of God and doing the same ego stuff that you were doing before in the 3D, but just in a different guise, and you're under illusion, and you think that somehow, yeah, now that you're aware, cool, you can manifest better and blah, blah, blah. You are still living under illusion. The ego is still there. What I'm telling you and what I've been beating the drum about since forever is authenticity, truth, and love. Yeah? Live in alignment with yourself. Let God play the character. Let me say that again. Let God play the character. We've gone through everything. We've come here. Now we're staring the thing. We're at the edge of the prism, the veil itself. And yeah, okay, cool. Now we recognize that we are God in human flesh, having a human experience in this thing. We populate it. Blah, 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 you know, our projections and our reflections, we see them, all that kind of stuff, different timelines, but at the same time, they're also consciousness and flesh, but it's the same thing that's, you know, okay, cool. So it's a complete removal of the flesh and recognizing that you are the energy. Okay, if you are the energy, here's a question for you. If you are an energy, what do you need like 5 cars for, bro? I always tell you, if you want to see how God behaves, or God kind of like a free show of consciousness, observe children. How many children do you know? Babies, before they actually acquire the ego, yeah? How many children do you know? Like, you buy them like really cool toys because your ego tells you what they want, yeah? And you're trying to satisfy some need inside of you. And I find it so gross, people that take pictures of presents and stuff like that and post it. Like, who the fuck are you actually talking to? It's weird. Like, what, do you want an applause that you bought something for your child? It's disgusting. Anyway, so they purchase all these gifts because they're all doing it for the illusion, and they all play into the cameras and, look at me, oh, my kids are so happy and the kid is not even, doesn't really care about that. They just care about the box or the wrapping paper, you know? Because the kid wants to play, right? The kid can use anything available to itself to play. From sand to the most expensive toy. Everything in between. So if the ego is adamant that, you know, oh yeah, this is the best toy, you know, you should be happy, you should play with that and not play with the wrapper. Yeah? If we're to blend those energies into one being, you are acting out of ego. You are trying to force a reality. Just like that parent is trying to force a reality on that innocent child. Play with this toy, it's better than the wrapping paper. Who told you that? Where's your reference point? Where's your reference point, bro? Who told you that? The things you want and need, yeah, which are causing you all this stress and you're not unhappy and shit like that. It's a story, bro. It's a story, bro. It's a story, bro. Because why do you need a 5-bedroom house? Why do you need a mansion? Why do you need that? You know, all those things are for show. If you're truly aware that you are consciousness in flesh, you will operate as if you are in complete darkness. Listen to what I just said. You operate as if you're in pure darkness, yeah? And everybody, you can see them in the matrix code and stuff like that, yeah? but everything's actually darkness. You can't see what they look like. You can't see their clothes. You can't see what car they drive. You can't see the house. It's just a code. It appears to you as a code. That's how I look at the world, bro. I'm being real. And when you look at the world that way, why do I need to have that? Because if it's sufficient for my needs, that's enough. The key objective here is to live in alignment, be authentic, live in alignment with myself, i.e. God. Let God play me as a character, yeah? Listen to the hunches, spend time communing with the thing inside of me, loving it, yeah? And people think it's an ego thing. I don't love, it's not the flesh. Loving the energy itself. You know, people waste money and time and, you know, thinking they love another person and they're doing all this other stuff. Again, is to kind of like pour into a void in their own selves, right? But if you put that energy into the energy that was within you, you communicate with it, you meditate, you look after your temple. I've spoken about the temple before, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you cleanse yourself. You make sure you're only consuming the right things. The interface is clean. The filters are clean. The sensors are clean. Everything's clean. It's not bonded to any wrong energies. You're not hemorrhaging energy or, you know, life force in any wrong way. You purify the thing. That's a very noble thing to do. You're actually living in alignment with yourself. Because not looking after your body, not looking after the housing, the thing that God lives in, is disrespectful to God. I've told you this before. It's disrespectful to consciousness. So you can't be in alignment if you're not looking after yourself. How can you go out and buy something so expensive to please another person, but you can't even spend, you know, £200 on a massage every month? It's self-indulgent. Well, where does God live, bro? Am I not supposed to make it as comfortable and as tranquil and blissful for my own self? Like, it's insane. But people think that material things will give them that tranquility. No, they're doing it for other people. They're doing it for projections. They're doing it for the screen, the reflections. Oh, look at me. I just did that. Look at me. No. Because they can still see flesh. If you are in the void, the blackness, the oneness of it all, and you see everything as projections, other iterations of consciousness, yeah? Walking around you and blah, 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 blah. The car I'm in doesn't matter to them. They won't even see it. And if I truly want that car, it's only to validate my own self. It's only for my own experience. And if I'm only doing it for my own experience, then I will stray as far away as possible from the 7 deadly sins. One being greed. Another one being gluttony. You can use manifestation any direction you want. It'll work because you're God in flesh. But you're forcing the hand of God. That's why a lot of people manifest something. It's like, oh, it's great. The next minute it just collapses back to nothing. And you're like, oh, how did that happen? Because yes, you can experience the reality, but that's not the reality you are supposed to inhabit. So it's like a pawn, yeah? A pawn can visualize what it's like to, they want to be able to move like the knight or the queen or whatever on the board, yeah? And not necessarily move, maybe they want to experience what it's like to be them, right? And their reality, the square that they're on. You can experience it temporarily, but if you're not, if that's not what you came here to express as, you return back to that your previous square. Albeit with stuff, some clothes and shoes and stuff. Yeah, you can do that. That's no problem. No one cares. It's just threads. It's rubbish, worthless. It's here today, it's gone tomorrow. Do you get it? The whole thing has to fit together. The reason why it doesn't fit together and it's not working is because people are still living in flesh and operating as like it's some zero-sum game. It's not a zero-sum game. If I take from you, yeah, I'm taking from me. Because my presence itself energizes the whole game. So if I'm taking anything from you, I'm actually taking from me. Even on a common sense level, when I'm playing a game, the fact that I'm engaging with the game, my life energizes the whole game. And if whatever I do in the game, good or bad, it takes away from my own life experience. I could be doing something else. So if I'm doing something that is detrimental to my experience of the game, I'm only souring my own experience, bro. That is the whole loop about treating your neighbor as yourself and all that kind of stuff. That's the whole thing. Because you're only doing it to self. And when you have that mentality of manifestation, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want that, you're still thinking in those terms. Because if you want and you think that you need to, kind of like create this reality for yourself and yourself alone, it's almost like you're still thinking in that kind of weird separation because you want it, but you don't want others to have it because you want it. And if others had the same, it wouldn't be quite the same because you want to be different and, you know what I'm saying? Because you are in separation. You are. Ego. Let God play, bro. It's God's game anyway. Like, how are we down here in the fucking construct dictating terms and conditions to how the player should play? Like, it's dumb. Like, this is a very advanced video game, a super advanced experience thing for life to, yeah. And we've made all these things inside of it and we're experiencing it, right? It's high level, super high level, bro. Even with our primitive minds, look at the shit we create. Now imagine God's mind. Even with our shitty minds, we got fucking ChatGPT and fucking AI and artificial intelligence movies and all this stuff which is super crazy, right? But we are a fractalized version of the form. We're not even the physical thing. We're just a fractalized configuration of it in a specific way. And we think we know what's best for the thing that made the whole thing. Come on, bro. If everybody was authentic, true, and operating out of love, yeah, not thinking in separation and all the ego flesh-based wank, yeah, the whole place would also reconfigure itself and everybody will find themselves where they're supposed to be, in bliss. Because we would have moved the game to a higher octave where the game is actually in harmony. If the game is in harmony, then consciousness is in harmony with the game. But we are causing all this disruption and discord and interference in the game. Meaning that there's discord between ourselves and consciousness. But yet we're like, no, I still want that. And I wanted to have this. And I want to have this. And I want to have that. Nah, bro. That's not how it works. You think you can manifest, like, a person that hasn't got legs, you think they can manifest legs? No, they can't. So on a physical level, yeah, we have already been pre-configured as well. So the person that, quote unquote, is blessed genetically, yeah, is blessed genetically. It's just the way it is. That's their configuration. Okay? That is their physical manifestation of God. Okay, so if that person with the ability to, let's look at it in human and animal kingdom terms, yeah? So there are all these creatures, and a male lion is born that just shows more kind of tenacity than the others, and he's more braver than the others, or whatever it is, yeah? Him being that physical manifestation of God, the weaker male can't manifest his reality. He may do, but it will not last long, because that's not actually his reality. So the weaker male might say, oh, I want to manifest a massive buffalo, yeah? And he might stumble upon one day and he's consuming it. But because it's not his reality, the hyenas might come and scare him off. He's experienced it. Tick box. In the eyes of consciousness, that's what you wanted. You've experienced it. Now go back to your lane. You have a specific job to do. It's not about who's dominant. That's our own constructs. I'm trying to explain something to you. I've already explained that we're all equal. Everybody has to be in their own lane. So it's because the fact that you actually are trying to covet something, yeah, outside of your reality means you live in flesh. It's a commandment. Don't covet. Don't, like, why are you trying to, like, you're trying to play God? If everybody is if everybody is where they are at any given moment in time, yeah, even the people that are in their wrong realities, because there's a learning experience happening right there. Why are you trying to force the reality to change the screen? Why? Because you have created a story about your unhappiness and the fact that it's too much, or you've had enough, or you deserve better, or whatever. Ego and pride. I'm telling you, you can't kill the ego. It just respawns in different ways. So you're going to hear a lot of this kind of like, because there's been a shift. So a lot of people are talking about higher concepts now. Be wary that they don't drag you back into the flesh, bro. Because they're operating from ego. They just don't see it. They're singing it. They're talking the thing, but they don't see it. Do you understand? You think God makes mistakes? The answer is no. Let's not bother. God doesn't make mistakes. So if you're in a situation right now, right? And we all know that everything's for you, everything's working out for you, everything is for you. You can't live another's reality, right? We've established this. You can't live my reality and I can't live your reality. Whatever reality I'm in is the reality I'm supposed to be experiencing right now, based on my previous beliefs, the steps I took, even when I was living in ego, yeah? So even when there is an undoing and you become aware, yeah, you don't swim upstream and magically reappear at where you were before. You still have to swim downstream against the rapids. It's the natural course of things. You might say, God, this is unfair, blah, blah, blah. Give me a boat so I can get downstream. God might give you a boat, yeah. And you might get downstream and you might realize that actually you've been now hooked into a boat. And now you're out of the game now, because you're not in you're forcing the hand of God. You're forcing the reality. God is with you. You're there. You trust God. You trust consciousness. You're locked in. Keep going, bro. Just keep going. And trust that what is yours can't miss you. So if you trust that what's yours can't miss you, what's there to manifest? Knowing that God doesn't make mistakes, knowing that what's yours doesn't miss you, knowing that when you're allowing God to play and you're being authentic, right? Every single thing, anything you need, everything you want will be added onto you. You have right there. It's right there. Authenticity, that's it. Door opens. Look at Neo. Did Neo ever want anything? No. But when he went back to Zion, he opened his door one day and there was a whole raft of people just coming to like pay their respects to him. Do you understand? That's symbolic. It's not actually physical. It's like the reality will just, it will add on to you because you're being you. You don't need to change realities. Cypher was trying to change realities. And it will happen. And he experienced that steak, and he had the feeling of what he wanted. He's already created, he missed the whole trick. He missed the whole trick. The reality he wanted to experience, he already, in that moment when he was doing his betrayal, he was experiencing it right there. He didn't even clock. And then when he returned, and then after that, the game's over, because you're not in your lane. And maybe your time's up now. Bye. Because there's no difference in you, like, robotically trying to affirm or trying to force the hand of God. I want something. There's no difference than, like, it's no different than a nagging child. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? When are we gonna get there? Blah, 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 blah. Trying to force the reality to change, bro. It's all physical. It's all physical. It is all physical. Boredom is physical. Know that what's yours it's not going to miss you, yeah? Not everybody in this world is going to have a Lamborghini, and that's okay. Not everybody is going to have a mansion, and that's also okay. Not everybody's going to have millions and millions of pounds in their bank accounts, and that's okay. But trust that if you're authentic and true and loving, whatever blessings you need in your reality to make your heart sing is yours. Everything. Whatever form that takes. After all those physical things that you're trying to manifest, money, fucking things, shoes, holidays, blah, 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 all that shit. What is that in terms of life experience? Okay, so you got some cars. I've driven supercars. They're exhilarating. I'll tell you that. It's like, whoa, but it hurts your back. Like, bro, if you ever driven a supercar, it's actually not, especially like you feel in your back, bro. I'm not even capping, and I'm in my 30s, and I know a few guys 30s, 40s that have these cars, and it's the same story, bro. Your back will hurt. It's not even all that's cracked up to be. And it puts you in a noose. You become a servant to it. You park here and your brain's like, you know, you want to be seen, which is ego, flesh, you know. Yes, there are purists that enjoy the vehicles, take them to racetracks and do all those sorts of things. Absolutely. And in many ways, I'm sure if you went and actually spoke to these people, you realize that their authentic selves, right? Them being authentic has just naturally pulled those things into their reality, because that's the experience consciousness wanted to have through them. Because you experience, so if we are all one thing, yeah? If I have experienced a Lamborghini, right? Another person's experienced something else. Collectively is all for the one thing. You don't also need to experience a Lamborghini, and I don't also need to experience your bicycle in order for it to be, it doesn't even make sense. It's some separation mindset. And poverty thinking is strange. You're thinking in lack, limitation. That means you don't truly believe in God. You don't even truly believe in your own ability. You don't believe in God. You don't believe in consciousness. Because if you truly believe, let's say your authentic self is your authentic character is a pilot, yeah, or a teacher, or a nurse, or whatever. Even, yeah, you might say, oh, but nurses don't earn very much, but I've got this thing as well deep within me that loves supercars or something. Yeah, you might think that, yeah, okay, cool, and so therefore you want to affirm or pull into your reality that Lamborghini. What makes you think that if you were authentically yourself and you went and became a nurse, maybe your very first person you interact with them, they might be a multimillionaire. They might just say, you know what, I like that you just beaming out your authentic nature was so incredible to me as an experience that I want you to be my private nurse. Lo and behold, you go that the guy's got a private collection of like 50 cars that he never drives. God can do anything, bro. Like, don't force God's hand. It's dumb. It's what I'm saying, bro. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Yeah. And the rest will be added on to you, or whatever that Bible saying thing says. It's actual alchemy. It's an alchemical formula. Look, when we talk about alchemy, yeah, don't think that alchemy is just, okay, PB plus AU is equal to, multiplied by AG is equal to, no, that's chemistry. And physics, that's like a broken down version of the thing. All the sciences came from, listen, science, one day we'll talk about science anyway. Let's leave it. Let's focus. So you gotta recognize these things. It's literally telling you a formula. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Okay, where's the kingdom of God? Is within. Okay, so if I seek it, yeah, how do I seek it? I need to seek. Seek is related to vision. I need to look at it. I need to go and find it, seeking it. I need to get it. I need to acquire it. I need to be with it. Because then I'll be seeking it, wouldn't I? Or I need to at least follow it. Yeah, these are every way you slice that word, that's what it means. Okay, so I need to head in the direction of God or consciousness. Okay, so where's God? We know it's our own wonderful human imagination, even from the manifestation people's standpoint, right? Okay, so therefore I need to seek my imagination, get closer to that thing, that force that does all the imagining. I get close to it, right? Now that I get close to it, what's happening? It didn't ask me to imagine realities. It didn't ask me to do that. It didn't ask me to create realities which are colored and tainted by the ego, and then everything will be added on. It didn't say that. It said just seek that force, get close to it, seek it. So once you've sought it and you're there, what's going to happen next? Everything else will be added onto you. Everything else does not have a limit. Bro, one day we'll talk about the shit I've manifested. It'll blow your fucking brains. I'm telling you. And I didn't even, when I say, I wouldn't even say manifest. The things have just happened to me, because I just let go. Crazy things. Because you trying to manifest is you doing, and you doing, you're operating from the flesh. You don't need to do anything. You just need to be. B-E. You don't need to do. It's not living doing. It's living. You're a living being. You're a human being. You're not human doing. You're a human being. Just be. And if you're being and you're in alignment, you be being how you're supposed to be, bro. Nah, let's talk on some real shit, bro. Because we have to keep walking steadily until we hit that point. You think in the biblical text, yeah, those people didn't manifest, when David, favored by God, i.e. in communion with God, yeah, he manifested Uriel's wife in his reality. He experienced it. It was fun. It's great. He's got her now. Even put Uriel to death. right? Look at it from a metaphysical standpoint. He manifested something that wasn't in his reality or supposed to be in his reality. He forced the hand of God. You force the hand of God, you pay. You will experience it because you are God. You can create stuff, but you pay. He made David pay, and he loved David. He loved him, but he made him pay. You think anybody can teach you how to create anything? You're stupid. You're stupid, bro. You're dumb. Real shit. You're dumb. You're still in flesh. You made him pay, bro. The whole point is to make sure that the God in you is happy and the devil in you is unhappy. If you ensure that the devil in you is smiling and happy, best believe that God's not happy with you. And if God's not happy with you, bro, you pay. Because it's the devil in him that wanted to fuck somebody else's wife, right? It's the devil in him that is greedy, that wants 50 cars or wants to be the this or wants to have the that over them or, do stunt on them or do this and that. It's the devil in you. There is no part of God that wants anything to do with that kind of shit, bro. Take it from me, I've lived all that kind of stuff, bro. You get there and there's nothing in it. It's hollow. Hollow. It looks good, but it's hollow. Believe me, you go to these parties, you do all that, it's dead, bro. It's nothing there. Just fucking egos and fucking flesh-based fucking weirdos. Cutthroat. No loyalty, no love, no fucking... There's nothing godly there, bro. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a simple existence, bro? What's wrong with that? When I say simple existence, I don't mean go and milk cows, bro. But there is somewhere within your configuration where life can be so bliss, so chill, yeah? And you don't actually need much to achieve that. But most people don't want that. They want the extra trimmings on top. Because it looks good. Who's looking at you, bro? You're in darkness. It just looks like light. It just looks like you're looking at stuff. Because there's been a shift, and just like any time, the screen will react. The projections will react, i.e. the ego will react, because us and the ego are kind of like intertwined, yeah? So the same way the ego can put thoughts in your head, images in your head, it does that on a macro level, which is the screen reality that we see, yeah? The collective thing is the thing we see, our own projection, which our own situation experience loop colored by the kind of like where we are or where our energy is flowing from. And that's what we see, bro. So naturally, when there's a shift in awareness, it's, whether you're looking at it from, the perspective of solipsism, which it is, but it's not. It's a weird type of solipsism, actually. Or a kind of like fractalized version of many, which is still all powered by the one thing. When there is a shift, it affects the whole thing because we are one thing. So then the collective shift will happen, but you got to realize that the ego still exists and it will respawn in different ways and find different ways to try and get its angels to follow it to hell. The reason Satan kind of like looked at humanity and kind of like felt like I almost look at it this way. It's almost like, I might save that for another topic actually. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, man. So yeah, keep your eyes on the ball, man. Keep your eyes on the ball. It's because of this very ego thing. Wants, greed. So, fucking gluttony. I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that. This zero-sum mentality is the very same thing that has spawned this greedy system around us. And then people then tell, oh, the bankers, oh, the government. You created it because that's what we were all like collectively. The reason why these governments are failing and crumbling is we are actually starting to pull back from that way of thinking, and it appears in the reality. It's simultaneous, it's one for one. Yeah. I remember when I was growing up, the government used to be a big deal. Like, it was a big deal. Like, these people were serious people. Like, if you look at the government now, and I'm in my 30s, bro. If you look at the government now, and we look at the government when we were younger, this modern governments it's like child's play. Back along, them guys were serious, man. It's not that they were serious, To our perception, it looked like it was serious, and it looked like because we had given so much energy to that part of the reality, the projection. We had given so much energy, so much creative force to it, that, and the beliefs that we were fed about it, we energized, so it became, that to us. And then more people are starting to realize that actually, nah, they're just people, and yeah, they're corrupt, and they're not honest, and they're not truthful, and you're seeing that for what it is the same. It's happening also on a micro level, because people are starting to see themselves for what they are. They're starting to realize that actually, I'm not just a cog in a machine. I'm not just a rat that has to go to this or do this or, do that. It's the same thing. It happens in the micro and the macro simultaneously. If you go back to like 2020 with the whole COVID thing, and I don't know why people don't want to say that word. I've seen YouTube videos where people go, what does that even mean, bro? But the same people who go and read books on fucking Nazi Germany and say, oh, they censored them and that was so bad. You are censoring yourself. You don't even see it. You fucking weaklings. Pussies. After that whole thing, it proved that the whole working thing was a hoax. It was look how many people left the workforce then. Just after a period of introspection and self-reflection. And if it rippled out into the reality, right? Anyway. So in a nutshell, man, realize that the ego will rear its head again and try and pull you back into the world of flesh, of things, and have this, and create this, and come and have this, Mind your business, bro. Focus on your life. Focus on your experience. You don't even know what karma you have to come and clear out here, bro. You don't even, what's the point of having, bro, you don't even know you don't know who you've been before. You don't know why you're even here. You don't even know the kind of experiences you have to have. You don't even know the kind of loose ends you have to tie up and stuff. And you're going to create a reality, and consciousness is going to go, that's not what, all right, cool, let's go then. It'll create it, you go and experience it, and now you're off track. God doesn't make mistakes. Your days here are numbered to precision, yeah? You see, get out of that fucking stupid, egotistic mind frame that you somehow have tomorrow promised. Tomorrow is not promised. Your days are numbered to precision. Your breaths are numbered, yeah? Your blinks are numbered. Your whole machine is tuned to a very specific frequency, and it's supposed to, do a certain thing. And you want to go this, all right, cool, let's go then. You go and see it. Now you're taking time out of that. You've gone upstream, bro. So you need to come back through the tide, downstream again. Guess what? Maybe you're not even equipped to swim downstream. So it's going to be a slog. But God didn't put you there. You put yourself there. So you have to come back on track because God can't physically come here and hold your hand. So you need to get yourself back into position and be authentic. And the rest of it, God will figure out. Stop being a fucking pussy, bro. You've gone the wrong way and you're screaming and shouting that you want to be back. No, you did it. We've established it, bro. You did it. You don't even know. You're wasting your energy, like creating realities and experiencing realities that maybe you shouldn't even be experiencing. Wasting your energy. Maybe you need that. Maybe you need that energy down the road to do something else. Have you thought about that? No, because you don't think. You live in the flesh. All you care about is things and how it will be seen. Nobody thinks about your mortality. Nobody takes mortality seriously. Nobody thinks about your mission here. You don't know what you're here to do, bro. You think it's all fucking, get a house and get this. Bro, there's some heavy work we have to come and do out here, bro. We fucked it up, so we have to come back and fix it. That's why we've spawned at this time. You can't live a reality that's not yours. This reality that we're experiencing right now, me, you, and everybody else that's taking breaths right now, whatever, right now, created it. So who do you want to come from somewhere to come and that's how they get you. When I say they, it's conscious beings that know how stupid you are. Because they know that you don't live in reality. You live in a dream because you think that your reality is somehow not your fault. So they will sell you the magic pill. Let me show you how to manifest back to where you want to be. Let me show you how to do this. Let me come to God, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, blah, blah, blah. Come and give me some money. I'll show you the way. 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 Because you're all living in flesh. Because if you weren't living in flesh, okay. You can't live a reality that's not yours, bro. I know people say, oh, well, what if I was born ugly? Yeah. And, you're still in flesh. Who told you ugly is even ugly, bro? Who created ugly as a concept for you? Who told you what ugly actually is? You think the perfect hands of God can create ugly? You don't get it. You live in stories, bro. It's time to wake the fuck up.